Yes, yes, yes. Listen. So the wrong partner can cost you everything. That's what we're going to get ready to talk about today. I want to welcome all of you to the stream. I want to go ahead and welcome you in. But I want to ask this question, right? I want to think about this. And you can let me know, Ms. Janelle, before I even introduce you. But to me, this topic right here, this topic is getting ready to go crazy. Let's go ahead and put the timer on because I want to make sure that we are delivering exactly um, the amount of dosage of information. I don't even want to go overboard. Okay. I don't even want to go overboard. All right, cool. So let's get into this. Like, the wrong partner can cost you everything. And the reason why we say that is because you might be the person that is in mentorships or the person that is looking to better your life or get to another level, but you might be sleeping with the enemy. You might be sleeping with the enemy. And I want you to think about this. Your partner may be your biggest liability. So let me ask you a question. What if the person you love is actually the reason you're broke? Like, let's be real here. What if the person you love is actually the reason you're stressed out?
Mm,
Or what if the person you love is actually the reason why you might be stuck? And the
mm,
reason why I'm asking this because I want to take a deep dive into this because the wrong partner just doesn't break your heart. The wrong partner can bankrupt your future. There's something called a relationship tax. Yes, we're going to talk about the relationship tax. It does not matter in your relationship. There will be a tax as far as what is going on or who you're with, so to speak. Okay. Now, one of the other things is this. Let me see here. The mindset, the mindset that goes into having relationships. Most people don't understand that relationships is a business. Like, that's number one. Relationship is a business. But I want to make sure that you understand something. So in this video, we're not pulling any punches. We're not holding back. We're going to take a deep dive into the hidden costs of being with the wrong person because as we mentioned, is attached to it, not just financially, but emotionally and
mm-hmm,
what else? Energetically, right? Some of us are drained inside these relationships as well. And
mm-hmm.
if you feel called out, good, because I'm talking to you. It's time to wake up. It is time to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Your relationship can be costing you everything. Right now, I want to introduce Miss Janelle Sims because she is one of the individuals who's going to help break this down, literally in a way where you can go ahead and digest it. I'm talking about a person who is well versed when it comes to relationships. Her main profession is in real estate. She can help you get a property anywhere out in the Colorado area or somewhere in that area, right? Denver or Aurora, somewhere, right? But I want you to go ahead, introduce yourself really quick, and elaborate on this topic here.
Thank you. Thank you. This is definitely one of those topics that will pull out the heartstring, right? Because every single one of us have been in a relationship. We've all given our hearts to someone in one way or another. So yes, I'm in real estate, but I'm also a motivational speaker and a life coach. And this is one of the topics that I absolutely love. So the wrong partner, you guys, it doesn't just break your heart, right? We've been there, we've experienced that, but not only does it break your heart, but they can also break your focus, right? And after your focus is broken, your finances are broke, your faith is disconnected, right? And then your future is derailed, right? So I want to pose a question. How many people have lost themselves trying to love someone who was never meant to grow with them?
Mm.
And I think that's always the hard question.
Wait. Say, say it.
It's a
Say
hard
it again.
question.
Run the question back because I don't want that to go over people's head.
Yeah, yeah. How many people have lost themselves, you losing yourself, trying to love someone else who was never meant to build with you, who was never meant to grow with you? A
Mm.
lot of us have people in our lives who drop off and we question the reason why, right? When really it could be God's divine protection over your life, removing that person, right? But we don't realize these things because it usually starts off pretty small, right? Your standards begin to be lowered in due time. It's a slow progression, right? They begin to delay your goals. You begin to delay your goals because you are giving this person excuses for their behavior, right? So many things are lined up with being with the wrong person. You're emotionally drained, you're spiritually disconnected. Your finances again are unstable because your mind is no longer focused. You're no longer in alignment with your purpose, your why.
Wait.
Being with the
Break it.
wrong
Hold
person.
on. Break it down because I think you kind of moved a little bit too fast on this one. Let's put up the ideal partner profile. So right now on the screen we have the ideal partner profile. Go through each one really fast.
So first
Emotionally
off, this
draining, and then so on and so forth.
this is the wrong partner profile right here. This is, you know, the tax that he was referring to, that relationship tax is you will become emotionally drained. And there's no denying that, right? You're constantly trying to feed into someone who is not feeding back into you. There's something that's unequally yoked there, right? So that emotionally draining feeling that you have, it begins to fall into you spiritually being disconnected because now you don't want to sit with God. Now you don't want to do your affirmations, your devotionals. You're not in that space, right? Your balance in life is not there. So that ultimately impacts your finances. Your finances become unstable. So that's definitely the something I think all of us can agree with, right? Can you attest to that, or is it just me?
See, I want you to keep going. Don't even stop. I agree with it. I want you to keep going too.
Right, right. So, you know, and ultimately, you know, these things happen, but ultimately you are just completely out of alignment with your purpose and with your why. So if you are with the wrong partner, right, you're spending time with the wrong people, wrong groups of people. This does not even have to be romantically. This could be work related. This could be anything that you are trying to build, right? If you are trying to build with the wrong people, it's not going to work. Ultimately, it's going to crumble. That foundation is not meant to be built with the people that are around you, and that's okay. That is okay. Just kind of going deeper into this, you guys, being with the wrong person before we get into the category of the right person and what that looks like is the wrong person, they will bring your life into chaos, right? Versus you going towards your destiny, they will bring you into a sense of chaos by draining your energy, right? He talked about that. But then you'll call it love. And that's where I think a lot of us find ourselves in this cycle, right? Where we call this thing love and really it's chaos. When you do find yourself trying to, you know, come into this place of finding yourself again, that person who was never meant to grow with you, they begin to resent your growth, right? They dismiss your dreams, right? They distract you from your calling. So what does it look like then if we can avoid this disaster and we can learn what it is like to evaluate who the right person is? And what does that look like to know a divine connection versus a distraction? So if we want to go on to the second
So,
category,
so before we do that, right? Because we're gonna snip this in a minute. I want us to think about like what does it look like. So sometimes within a relationship tax, it might seem like it's something that's going well, right? You did mention the chaos could look like love. I want to make this point. We're trained to be against what's for us and for what's against us. So we're used to relationships seeming like it's hard work. Love is hard. Love is something that we have to go through the pain and a lot of stress. And that's just not true. Like
I
love
agree.
is something so beautiful, something that two people, I mean, in some cases it'd be three or four of them people I'll be seeing it nowadays. But look, that's whatever y'all do is what y'all whatever y'all do is what y'all do. But the idea is that there is this understanding of whomever you're loving, right? You must be in a deep connection and feel flow. The way to create the connection and flow is to listen to each other. There's not a lot of listening. There's an issue. The issue is that most people are literally operating from their story. So I like to say something like this. I'll say, and this to get people riled up. Most women don't really even want love. They just want the love story. As soon as the man is not show up as Prince Charming in the story, they cut the man out the story. Now he's an ex. Think about it. Like when in reality, he actually made you better. You should actually love that man a little bit deeper because he showed you what you didn't want in your life. You should actually love that man a little deeper because he exposed you for what you do want in your life. You should actually understand and treat that woman better because she showed you what true love could really be if you had somebody who was in alignment with you. So
That's
if we
good.
start seeing difficulty differently, we would start seeing relationships show up to us in a different way. So a lot of
Absolutely.
time we have relationship tax because we're not willing to take the L.
Mm.
We're not willing. You got to be willing to take the L. See, in relationships, right, there's a lot of feelings involved. What's the root word of feelings? Feel. So sometimes we put a lot of emotion into what we feel. Oh, he didn't say anything to you when you walked through the door because that's part of your script. That's part of your story. So he didn't say anything to you when he walked through the door. So now to you, you internalize that as something wrong with you or something wrong with him. But in reality, maybe he needed you to jump on him today. Maybe he needed you to be the one that exemplifies that love today. But since it wasn't part of your story and you saw what happened in your story didn't match up to what happened in reality, now there's an upset thing, right? The reason why we even get upset, and I know we got to close in a minute. The reason why we get upset in the first place is because things do not go our way. But that's because a lot of times we're dealing with the wrong partner. We're dealing with the person that's emotionally draining us. We're dealing with the person that's not connected to us on a spiritual level. They just wanted us for our looks. And relationships are mirrors. And if you want somebody for your looks, looks are temporary. So if you go into relationships for looks, your relationship will be temporary. And that's the number one reason why most relationships are temporary and it's not about the finances fully. Yes, there are financial issues, but the biggest mistake, oh, they're kicking us out. They're kicking us out. Hold on. That's Zoom telling us to get off. All right, so we have to close up in a minute. But that your reflection, your relationship is a reflection of you. So if we start to operate where we are no longer emotionally draining ourselves by sticking in a situation that's not conducive to our success, then and only then it will reflect to us outwardly. So the truth is, you might be costing you everything because nobody's
Mm.
handicapping you staying with making you stay with that person. Nobody told you to choose the person. You don't even have a person problem. You got a picker problem. You keep picking the wrong people, then asking why you. Let me stop. Let me just stop. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jana. Let me stop.
And now, see, I want to leave them with, I just want to leave them with something tangible. This is something that I heard from an older couple. I will call them a OG couple because their structure is something that you don't see every day. And you also mentioned something else that I wanted to say, which was that mirror, right? Love is a reflection. So the misconception that society gives us is that love is something that you have to earn when that is rooted in a lie. Love is not earned, love is something that is mirrored, right? It is a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of what's already been placed inside of you. So when you find that person, that reflection of you, it is not to complete you, but it's to complement what's already inside of you, complement what is already stirring inside of you, right? So I love how you obviously mentioned don't date for looks, but date for what I got out of that was purpose. Looks can change, right? People age. This youth is fleeting, is it not? So definitely being able to connect with people who are heart to heart, mind to mind, and aligned in life. So the tangible advice that I will leave you is this: there was this older couple. Um, they've been married for over 40 years, have a very happy relationship. Every relationship will have its ups and downs that comes with it, you guys. However, one thing that you can use to be able to keep that conduciveness a little balanced is this is what they did. Every morning before they started their day, they'd look at each other and they say, "What you got today?" And he'll say, you know, babe, I got 80% today. And she's like, good, because I only got 20% today. And he's like, all right, well, at least I know how we gonna roll, you know, this day. So I know how to approach her. She knows how to approach him, vice versa. They might wake up another day and she says, you know, babe, what do you got? And he's like, man, I got 10% for us today. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna have to carry the 90. So it's really having that understanding and having that balanced relationship as to you are comparable to this person is comparable to you. You are suitable to help this person is suitable to help you. So one last thing I will leave you with, which is God's word. When God says to not be unequally yoked, when you find yourself unequally yoked, you don't have the ability to be able to pull your weight and that person's, because sometimes your mate might not have 100% to give you. They might only have 10% to give. You might have to be that person for that day. Sometimes it might last a week, sometimes it could last a month. But when you're yoked equally with someone, you're able to pull that weight, because you are not one, you're not two, but you are now made one. So I'll leave you with that.
Exactly. Let us know in the chat. Go ahead. You were saying something?
No,
Oh, let it let us know in the chat. Wait, are you getting ready to say something or no?
no, I'm waiting for your response.
Oh, okay, okay. So, let us know in the chat because I think the strategy is good, right? Having the strategy to pretty much check in with each other and say, "Hey, look, babe, is what level are you at today? Hey, look, I'm at a level 25. I'm gonna need some support today." That's way more conducive to a happy, healthy relationship than reading and reacting, right? Sometimes we're dealing with things that we can't necessarily say right now in the moment because we're still processing it. And so it might be on our minds fresh. And we might be walking through the hallway of the house and my head might be down. And babe with her good self might just run up on me and say, "Hey, pick your head up. What's going on? How you feeling today?" And I'm just not into it. And you know, I'm so caught up in thinking about everything else that I'm not realizing that my relationship is right here, right now. I'm so focused on a future experience or a past experience that I'm telling her I'm ignoring how she feels about me. And this happens to us every so often.
Yeah,
It would be beneficial if you just checked in. Hey, babe, where you at? I see you're not looking good right now. It's not you're not feeling well. What's happening? Where are you at on the level? Yeah, I'm really at a level 10. I really need some emotional support right now. And
yeah,
then now, you know, your boo, significant other person that you love, care about, can do a massage for you, can prepare something for you. It's just those small things that create those big wins. So on the screen
right.
right now, we have the right partner profile. Remember, we had the wrong partner profile. Now we got the right partner profile. See, the right partner is the one that's going to propel you towards destiny. The wrong partner, you know, that's the person that's pulling you to hell, right? Like we don't want to go
Yeah,
that way. We want to go this way. We want to go up. We want to
right.
move up. So it's not about completing you or competing with you because sometimes we got those
Mm,
immature relationships where it's about competition. I did this for you, babe. You do that for me. And then I get it because everybody wants a nice balance in the relationship. But let's not compete against each other because that person is not your competition. That person is your partner. That's your teammate. So a person that compliments you and not completes you is so big because sometimes you are the person that does everything for your significant other. But the one thing you don't realize that you do is that you put so much emphasis on them to fulfill you.
mm,
Like, don't get me wrong. You might cook, you might clean, you might do other things, you might do anything and everything. You might, all right, you might do it well. But what I'm saying is, you might not realize that your happiness is predicated on you, and you're giving that role and that task to them to have that fulfillment. That's a tall order, baby. It's hard for us to fulfill naturally on our own for ourselves. Imagine fulfilling on yourself and for someone else. Come on, we need to meet each other somewhere.
yes, yes.
So the last part is on that right person's profile is they're willing to help out. Like you don't have to beg, you don't have to scream, hoot, holler, jump, do jumping jacks, crisscross applesauce to get somebody's attention. What you really need to do is just have a good conversation. Relationships are businesses. And in business, leadership is always going to be the glue to any business. Without great leadership, your business will fail. You can have the best product, you can have the best service, but if you're not a great leader, I'm sorry. And how many of us feel that like your partner wasn't a great leader or a great follower? Because sometimes in order to
Right.
be a great leader, you got to be a great follower. But
Yeah.
we need to be better pickers. I'm sorry to say, but you could blame this person all day, but we need to be better pickers. I know we're way over time, but I was doing that because there was a lot of people who came on the live, who was on the live stream, so I wanted to fulfill with them. Anything you want to wrap up on before we close out?
This is one of those conversations that can have its way, right? This type of conversation, we could easily be here for hours on end. But I will just say this. There's a lot more that you will there's a lot more cost involved being with the wrong person than there is being with the right person. So, for those of you who find yourself in your single season right now, I would just advise to be patient. Be patient for that right person to find you, or vice versa, because as long as you are doing what it is that you are called to do, as long as you are in alignment with your own purpose, inevitably that person that is for you, you'll find each other. But if you are looking for this person, if you're trying to, again, ladies, position yourself in a place to be found, you'll probably find yourself back in another distraction, back in a cycle with someone who was never meant to grow with you. So, my advice for both men and women would be to be patient in your season of singleness, continue to grow inside and out, and be true to whatever your calling is, and wait on God, because you're either going to wait on God or you are going to wait on God, right? So just wait on God. You're going to wait on God in the beginning, the right way for Him to help you and guide you to find your person, or you're going to end up waiting on God, because if you get with the wrong person, you're going to be praying to God, how can I remove this person? How can I get my life back on track? So either way, you're going to be waiting on God. So be patient in this season and just continue to build self.
Mm, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If you're listening to this right now, and it's hitting close to home, I think it might be time to ask yourself one of the hardest questions to ask. Am I building my future with someone who's adding to it or subtracting from it? Because love is not just about these feelings or these looks or your story or what you could potentially get from the person. It's really about alignment. It's about the mission. Are you on the same mission? It's about multiplication. Can you multiply what you already have? Because this whole life is mathematical. Now, if you're with the wrong partner, it will not only cost you peace. You know, me and you spoke about this prior to this. It will not only cost you peace, but it will cost you time, it'll cost you energy, and ultimately it'll cost you everything. So choose
Everything.
your right, 100%. So choose your partner like your future depends on it because oh my gosh, it does. It
Yes.
totally does. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have another live. We're gonna talk about the financial stability on the next live. We're gonna talk about emotionally drainage on the next lives, right? So we have a lot of parts coming out when we're talking about this topic, and even just sleeping with resistance, right? Like there's a whole thing about loyalty that we're gonna get into, and stay tuned, stay tuned. So follow us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you send some comments in the chat and come back to the next live. And we're going to do that right now. So go ahead and click the next video right now. Let's go.